Bonjour, and welcome to NATO Drama. Today, we embark on a journey through time, exploring the twists and turns of international relations and the unexpected decisions that shaped the world as we know it. Gather round, mes amis, for a tale of international intrigue, where the stakes were high, and the players were some of the most powerful nations on Earth. Cold War shenanigans, and enough drama to make a soap opera blush. Imagine a world where every move was scrutinized, every decision could tip the balance of power, and every alliance was a potential game changer. Tonight, we delve into the thrilling world of NATO. Yes, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, a military alliance that was as much about politics as it was about defense. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking military alliances, the kind that could make or break nations, and the intricate dance of diplomacy that kept the world from the brink of war. Geopolitical chess matches, where every move was calculated, every piece strategically placed, and one country's decision to say au revoir to the whole shebang. But why would a key player like France decide to leave such an important alliance? Buckle up, because this is the story of how France decided to quit NATO like a boss. It wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment decision. It was a calculated move that sent shockwaves through the international community. It's a story about clashing egos, strategic disagreements, and the complex web of alliances and rivalries that defined the Cold War era. Leaders from around the world were involved, each with their own agendas and visions for the future, and maybe just a little bit of that famous French independence streak. The same spirit that fueled the French Revolution and the quest for liberty and equality was alive and well in the halls of power. So grab your berets, pour yourselves a glass of Bordeaux, or maybe a juice box, no judgment here, and settle in for a tale that combines history, politics, and a touch of humor. And get ready for some serious historical hilarity. We'll explore the key events that led to France's dramatic exit, the reactions from other NATO members, and the long-term impact on international relations. Our story begins with Charles de Gaulle, the towering figure of French politics, whose vision for France was nothing short of grand. De Gaulle believed that France should have an independent foreign policy, free from the influence of other nations, even its allies. He saw NATO as a constraint on France's sovereignty, a tool of American dominance that limited France's ability to act independently on the world stage. This belief was not just a personal conviction, but a reflection of a broader sentiment within France. The tension between France and NATO had been simmering for years, with disagreements over military strategy, nuclear policy, and the role of the United States in European defense. These issues came to a head in the 1960s, leading to a dramatic showdown. In 1966, de Gaulle made the bold decision to withdraw France from NATO's integrated military command, a move that stunned the world. He ordered the removal of all French forces from NATO control and demanded the closure of NATO bases on French soil. The reaction from other NATO members was swift and varied. Some saw it as a betrayal, a weakening of the alliance at a critical time. Others understood it as a move to assert national sovereignty and respect France's unique position in global politics. Within France, the decision was met with mixed reactions. Some hailed de Gaulle as a hero who stood up for French independence, while others feared the consequences of distancing from a powerful alliance. NATO, meanwhile, had to adapt to the new reality. The alliance continued to function, but the absence of France in its military command structure was a significant change. It required adjustments and new strategies to maintain the balance of power. Over time, France's relationship with NATO evolved. While it remained outside the integrated military command, it continued to participate in political discussions and joint operations, maintaining a unique but cooperative stance. Today, NATO stands as a testament to the complexities of international alliances, where unity and independence must be carefully balanced. France's decision to leave and later re-engage with NATO is a fascinating chapter in this ongoing story. So, as we wrap up this episode of NATO Drama, remember that history is full of unexpected twists and turns. The story of France and NATO is a reminder that even the strongest alliances can face challenges, but they can also adapt and endure. Merci et à bientôt. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. Stay tuned for more tales of international intrigue and drama. First things first, let's talk about the main player in our drama, France. Land of baguettes, berets, and an uncanny ability to say non with such style that it could make a dictator weep. France, a founding member of NATO in 1949, was all in on this whole collective defense thing after World War II. But, like any good drama queen, or king in this case, they weren't afraid to shake things up a bit when they felt like it. Picture it. 1966, the height of the Cold War. Tensions are high, paranoia is rampant, and everyone is just waiting for the world to go kaboom. It's in this delightful atmosphere that France decided to drop a bombshell of their own. They were out of there. They weren't just leaving any old club. They were ditching the biggest, baddest military alliance in the world. It was like breaking up with the prom king and queen. At prom. Now you might be thinking, where does one even go to break up with NATO? Well, it turns out there's a whole headquarters for that sort of thing in Brussels, Belgium. That's right, folks. NATO is just organized enough to have its own breakup spot. So in 1966, France packed up their toys, or rather, their troops and military integration, and stormed out of NATO's headquarters. Section 5. Why? Oh why? The French Connection? No, not the movie. Now here's the million-dollar question. Why, in the name of Napoleon's hat, did France decide to leave NATO? Well, it turns out there were a few reasons, and they're all about as French as a croissant on Bastille Day. First off, France felt like the United States was calling all the shots in NATO. They weren't exactly wrong. It was like being in a band where your friend's older brother with the drum set always got to pick the songs. Charles de Gaulle, the French president at the time, was not a fan of this dynamic. He wanted France to have more autonomy and control over its own military decisions. De Gaulle believed that France should be able to defend itself without relying too heavily on the United States or other NATO allies. He argued that France needed to maintain its own independent nuclear deterrent, which he called the force de frappe. This was a point of contention because NATO's strategy was based on collective defense, meaning an attack on one member was considered an attack on all. De Gaulle's vision was for France to be able to act independently if necessary, without being bound by NATO's collective decisions. There was also a sense of national pride and a desire to assert France's sovereignty on the global stage. The French government felt that by leaving NATO's integrated military command, they could better control their own destiny. So, in 1966, de Gaulle made the bold move to withdraw France from NATO's integrated military structure, though they remained a member of the alliance. This decision sent shockwaves through the international community and reshaped the dynamics of NATO. France continued to participate in NATO's political activities, but maintained its military independence. Over the years, France's relationship with NATO evolved, and they eventually rejoined the Integrated Military Command in 2009. Today, France remains a key player in NATO, balancing its national interests with the collective security of the alliance. So the next time you enjoy a croissant or visit the Eiffel Tower, remember the complex and fascinating history behind France's unique relationship with NATO. Section 6. How to Exit Stage Left, a masterclass by France. France didn't just leave NATO quietly, they made a whole production out of it. They pulled their troops out of NATO's integrated military command and kicked all foreign troops off French soil. Imagine the awkward family dinners after that. But hey, at least they stayed on speaking terms. Sort of. They remained in the political part of NATO, like that one friend who still shows up for the group chat but never hangs out in person. Section 7. The Aftermath. NATO's new seating chart. So what happened after France's dramatic exit? Well, NATO carried on, albeit with a slightly bruised ego. They had to scramble to rearrange their military deployments and figure out how to function without their French comrades. It was like trying to bake a cake without eggs. Still doable, but not quite the same. Section 8. France lone wolf or trendsetter. France's decision to leave NATO's military structure sent shockwaves through the world. Some people thought they were crazy, while others admired their independent spirit. It's like that friend who quits their job to travel the world. Everyone else is both terrified and secretly jealous. France's move sparked a debate about the future of alliances and whether bigger is always better. Section 9. Lessons learned. Don't mess with the French or their cheese. The French are known for their fierce independence and their unwavering pride in their culture, history, and, of course, their cuisine. This chapter delves into a fascinating episode that highlights these very traits. The story of France leaving NATO is a reminder that even the strongest alliances can have their differences. In 1966, under the leadership of President Charles de Gaulle, France decided to withdraw from the integrated military command of NATO. This bold move was driven by a desire to assert national sovereignty and to ensure that France could make its own decisions without being overly influenced by other nations, particularly the United States. It's also a testament to the French knack for doing things their own way. Consequences be damned. This decision was not without its risks and challenges. It required France to develop its own independent defense strategy and to invest heavily in its military capabilities. Yet it also allowed France to carve out a unique position on the global stage, one that was distinctly French. And hey, if nothing else, it makes for a pretty entertaining history lesson, right? The French have a long history of defying expectations and going against the grain. From the French Revolution to the student protests of May 1968, France has always been a nation of bold moves and dramatic gestures. These moments in history are not just significant, they are also incredibly captivating and often quite dramatic. So, the next time you're feeling bold, channel your inner French and order that escargot. French cuisine is renowned for its bold flavors and unique dishes. Escargot, or snails, is a delicacy that might seem intimidating at first, but it's a perfect example of the French approach to food: adventurous, unapologetic, and always delicious. Trying new foods can be a way to embrace that same spirit of adventure and independence. Just maybe don't quit your day job to join the circus without a backup plan. The French are known for their artistic flair and their love of the dramatic, but even they know the importance of having a solid foundation. Whether it's in politics, cuisine, or personal endeavors, the lesson here is clear. Be bold, be brave, but also be prepared. After all, the French didn't become a global cultural powerhouse by playing it safe. Section 10. Au revoir and thanks for the history lesson. And there you have it, folks. The tale of France's dramatic departure from NATO's military structure. A story of Cold War tensions, French exceptionalism, and enough international drama to make your head spin. We hope you enjoyed this whirlwind tour through history, sprinkled with a healthy dose of humor. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and remember, history is never boring, especially when the French are involved. Au revoir.